you guys doing? Somebody up there is pretty good. All right, so let me hear you if you've never been to a Humor You show before. This is your first time. Yeah, well, we hope you have a good time. If you have been, let me hear you. How many people have been here before? Good, great. Well, we hope you enjoy the show too. I'm going to get things started here. So it's summertime. You guys got your Seven Peaks basketball passes? Yeah, Seven Peaks is the best. So I went to pick up my pass at the beginning of the summer, and I had this strange experience. I get up to the desk and I tell the girl my name, you know, my name's Sleven Rowe, and she says, Sleven? Sleven Rowe? No, Steven, with a T, S-T-E-V-E-N. Steven. She says, Sleven, Steven. They sound exactly the same. True, but one of them is not a name. It's not even a word. What's your name? Janice. Panis? See, I can make up stuff too. Sleeving kind of sounds like a word though, like the verb form of sleeve. Guys, I'll be down in 5 minutes. I'm just sleeving up here. Just put my sleeves on. Oh, Dimitri was right. The leather sleeves are the best part of this outfit. Yeah. So I feel a little weird every time I'm at Seven Peaks, and you know I go up the slide tower and I look down at the state hospital. Because I kind of feel like I'm in the great and spacious building. Look at all those religious nuts down there. Oh, they're just nuts? Oh, that's my bad. I'm sorry. I gotta get off of this tower. So have you guys seen Battleship yet? Yes. I am extremely disappointed with this movie. How in the world do you have a movie starring Rihanna, takes place on a ship, and she doesn't even sing her hit song, SOS? I thought that was the entire basis for this film. I mean, there were plenty of chances. For like an hour and a half, the ship was in dire distress. I mean, even sinking. I did not just burst out into song. I did, and I was just a weird guy in the movie theater. Someone help me. I mean, you thought it would have happened, you know. It wasn't based off the song, though. It was based off the game, which, you know what, frankly, I'm not seeing it. You had a movie that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. It's about invading aliens. And you got this from E6, hit, G7, hit, you sank my battleship! Either they jazzed up that script a bunch, or the writer played a much better version of that game than I did. Probably had the deluxe edition. I am jealous of that guy. Yeah. So the Olympics are here. Did you guys watch any of the opening ceremonies? Yeah. London just trying to remind us all how cool they are. Remember, we made Mary Poppins. Great, London. Thanks. No, but every time the Olympics roll around, I get a little sad because I remember when they came to Utah. There was a kid on my block who actually got to run the Olympic torch like part of the way into the stadium. And I was super jealous because they picked him to do that because he was a pretty good runner and he had diabetes, you know, and I was like, so I missed out because I don't have a disease? So in response to this, just in case they ever come back, I've contracted Lyme's disease, just, you know, so I'm in the running for that next time. Oh, Lyme's disease. It just doesn't sound scary, does it? I mean, it just kind of sounds like a nice little accent. You know, just like, well, I got Crohn's disease and just a hint of Lyme's disease. Well, that sounds nice. That sounds all right. You know? They need to give it a better name though, because you know what happens when you have Lyme's disease? Your brain literally like melts. It's awful. They need to call it melty brain or like lava brain. Something that will make you understand that it's a horrible disease, not just a delightful little hint on your Coca-Cola. You know, it's kind of terrible. They need to rename it. So I've been trying to get back in shape. I've been biking to work instead of driving my car. And I noticed two things. The first thing, I was really out of shape to start with. Because one day when I was going up this hill towards my house, I of course had to stop and walk my bike. And this guy in his yard was like, hey, what's wrong with your bike? Well, you know, every time I'm like riding flat, it's okay, and it works really good if I'm like going down, but every time I come to this hill, it just, my pedals, they lock up. You ought to get that looked at. Maybe you should get a refund. I'm thinking about it. Stupid bike. Second thing I noticed, despite all my hard work, the pants that I was trying to fit into still do not fit me because I have bulked up my legs so much that I cannot even get them up all the way. It will not reach past my thighs. I gotta get new jeans. I gotta get those Beyonce jeans, the Darions, you know what I'm talking about? They fit just right. It's terrible. They don't fit if I'm fit, they don't fit if I'm fat. What do I do? Well, speaking of Beyonce, I was watching TV and I saw a commercial with her in it for True Match makeup. They're claiming that they have a makeup for whatever your skin type is. They can match it. And the way they show you this commercial is Beyonce comes on and she says, "There's a story behind my skin." And then on the screen it says, Beyonce is African American, Native American, and French. I was like, wow, that is a truly unique... French is pretty funny, this one. French people. Well, but I was thinking, that's a really unique combo, you know? Good job, good makeup, good commercial, wow. But then they followed that up with the same commercial, but it's Jennifer Lopez this time. There's a story behind my skin. But then the screen this time just says, 100% Puerto Rican. This is a terrible follow-up. You went from Beyonce, who probably has like the most unique skin heritage. I'm pretty sure she's the only person on the planet. She's got a little sister. There's two people out of like 7 billion on the planet with this. But there's 4 million Puerto Ricans worldwide. The story behind J-Lo's skin is the exact same as 4 million other people. Bad follow-up. I don't like that commercial on second thought. So, I was watching TV still, and there was another commercial. This one's a little more serious, though. This is, like, for not abusing women, right? And I was like, all right, this is good stuff. Let's see what you got. So, President Barack Obama comes on, and he says, in reference to not hitting women, he says, even one is too many. And I thought, that's interesting, Barack. I thought the same thing about your presidency. The worst abuse of power is when the president raises his hand to hurt Lady Liberty. When, America, when are you going to have the courage to leave him? I know he keeps promising change, but your fiscal spending still looks a little black and blue to me. Stop abusing America, Barack. A lot of Barack fans in the audience. My research told me Utah was a safe place for Republicans. Note to self, scratch that joke. No. Well, here's one you can all relate to then. Weddings happen in Utah, right? So a couple of my friends got married recently, and my wife couldn't come with me to the wedding, and she just goes, "You gotta tell me what the bride's dress is like, okay? I want every detail." How many could there be? So I went, and I took notice of it. Okay, I sized it up. I think I got it. So I get back to my house later that day, and she's like, "What was it like? What was it like? Tell me everything." Okay, well it was white. It was kind of long. It had a thing. The neck, swoopy. It looked wrinkled. I was unclear as to why she would not have, bought a, more ironed, more pressed dress. I don't know, personal preference, whatever. But then we went to the reception that night, and I felt her wrath because she looked at that dress for 1 second. She just said, "Oh my gosh. First of all, it's T-length. Second of all, it is ivory, not white." Sorry. It's got an empire waist, a sweetheart neckline, it's embellished with vintage lace, and it's made of raw silk. That's why it looks wrinkly. How hard was that? Raw silk? Do they cook silk? all I got from that. I find it interesting that wedding dress is like the one article of clothing that girls want as big as possible. Every day you're squeezing into your skinny jeans, your tight little t-shirts, but that wedding dress gotta be as big as possible. Sweetie, does this train make my butt look big? I gotta be honest, sweetheart, it does. Okay, this is it. This is the one. I'm saying yes to the dress. Okay, thanks guys. That's it for me.